It's locked. Israel will soon take the world by surprise. Washington fears that Israel will surprise and attack Iran. Importantly, Iran is doing everything possible to receive an Israeli attack. White House and Pentagon officials fear that the current Israeli administration, under Netanyahu, will surprise the United States and drag it into a military confrontation in the Middle East, according to Ron Ben-Yisai, military analyst for the Yedioth Ahronoth newspaper, citing an official in Israel's security establishment. The Israeli analyst revealed that the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, report, which confirmed that the agency's monitors had detected particles of uranium enriched to 83.7% at the Fordow facility, published last week, caused a bit of a storm in the Israeli security services. Colin Cowell told a meeting of the U.S. House of Representatives that Iran is capable of producing enough material for a nuclear bomb within the next 12 days. Ben-Yisai said the Israeli intelligence officials, military intelligence division of the Mossad, do not believe the excuses given by the head of Iran's Atomic Energy Agency, Mohammad Islami, that the small amount of uranium enriched in the nuclear bomb resulted from a technical error or the enrichment process. Israeli officials believe that Iran deliberately planned to enrich uranium to 83.7% in order to succeed in provoking Israel and the West so that they would have enough reason to attack it. Iran's second aim is to send a warning message to the United States and Europeans that Iran will not hesitate to increase the pace of its progress towards developing nuclear weapons if it does not lift tough sanctions imposed by former U.S. President Donald Trump, or if the West is considering imposing additional sanctions on it through United Nations Security Council because of Iran's military assistance to Russia in the conflict in Ukraine. They're giving Russia drones, as we know. Now, he believed that Iran is trying to send messages to Israeli side by stating that Tehran will accelerate its nuclear program to reach 90% uranium enrichment in quantities that allow it to develop nuclear warheads before Tel Aviv is ready to attack the nuclear military installations in Iran. The assessment in Israel is that this attack timeline needs to be shortened by a large percentage, and he explains that this assessment was made in light of the fears of the intelligence community in Israel and the United States that they do not know what is really going on in Iran and what Tehran succeeded in the field of developing nuclear weapons manufacturing mechanism, and may surprise everyone in this regard. The uncertainty about how long it would take Iranian engineers to develop a nuclear bomb is related to the control and large acceleration Iran has achieved in fissile enrichment technology, given that it had advanced centrifuges already operating in the Fordow facility. If Israel does not attack now, the Israelis will suddenly wake up to find that Iran is about to test a nuclear warhead, just like what happened with North Korea. In such a situation, Israel and the Americans will accept that there is no other choice but to accept reality and learn to live under the nuclear shadow. In this context, he pointed out that the growing technological cooperation between Russia and Iran is increasing fears in Israel and America's security circles in light of reports of Tehran's request to Russia to acquire the most advanced Russian air defense system, the S-400, highly effective for the interception of aircraft and missiles, which has a range of more than 400 kilometers, as well as for the acquisition of Sukhoi 35 fighter jets. The main threat from an Israeli and American perspective is the Russian-Iranian cooperation that is already taking place in the development of high-precision attack suicide drones, and perhaps also in the development of cruise or hypersonic ballistic missiles, which are two very accurate missiles capable of penetrating Israeli air defense systems. What are Washington and Tel Aviv trying to achieve? According to Ben-Yisai, recent high-level U.S.-Israeli military, security, and political meetings seek to develop joint plans to prevent Iran from enriching uranium to 90% in an amount sufficient to build one or more nuclear bombs, while Israel believes that the serious Israeli-American military threat and tough additional sanctions will deter the Iranians from moving to this context. While the American side states that Israel is a sovereign country that can act as it sees fit to counter Iran's nuclear program, demands that Israel fully coordinate and share the decision because Washington, quote, will be forced into the war that may erupt because American soldiers stationed in the Middle East will be at risk if Israel attacks Iran unexpectedly, end quote. Now, all these meetings, Tel Aviv also seeks to, in all the meetings, Israel seeks to put pressure on Washington and demand that it cooperate with the European side through the United Nations, impose more sanctions on Iran, the Iran side or outside the Security Council, to force Tehran to reduce military aid to Russia. I don't know if that's going to work. This is by Crime Study. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box